land low.
It was low. It was low, but I don't think it was intentional, and I don't think it was.
Oh, down goes Jacobs on a perfect right hand.
Right on top
and
of it.
that may be that.
The rivalry between Russian and American fighters has always been about more than just boxing. It's about mindset, about different philosophies of fighting, and even different ways of understanding the world. So when this quiet Russian guy, someone the American crowd had never heard of, walked into a Las Vegas arena to face a rising HBO star, something already felt off script, like we weren't just watching another fight, but about to witness something bigger. What Dmitry Pirog did that night in July 2010 wasn't just an upset, it was a message. Simple, clean, delivered with a single right hand that landed with chilling precision. That summer, a 30-year-old from Temryuk, Russia stepped into the ring without hype, without fanfare, no highlight reels or big-name backers, just a name on the card. But the way he moved told a different story. He didn't fit the mold. He leaned, slipped, threw punches from strange angles that didn't seem to make sense until they landed. Never standing still long enough to be figured out, yet always, somehow staying in control.
Уже не только за дальность полета, а за красоту полета.
Some said he didn't have knockout power, but that idea wasn't going to survive the night.
Knockouts from Gelendzhik, Russia.
In the other corner was Daniel Miracle Man Jacobs, young, polished, undefeated, with 20 wins, 17 knockouts, and everyone expecting him to be the next big thing. With networks backing him, media hyping him, Jacobs looked the part, talked the part, even told the press, "I don't see any danger in this Russian." The WBO had signed off on the bout for the vacant middleweight title, and nobody questioned the narrative. The Russian would show up, lose quietly, and head home, while Jacobs would grab the belt, take the spotlight, and move forward. But boxing doesn't always follow the script.
And now the bell sounds for round number one. I have ridiculed the fact that
The bell rings and Pirog wastes no time walking straight to the center of the ring, moving with that strange rhythm. Loose hands, unpredictable angles, slipping punches almost before they're thrown. And Jacobs starts looking confused, like he's facing something that doesn't make sense.
If I'm studying his face, I think his expression, I think he's developed Dmitry at this point. And he's realizing that his upper body movement and his head movement is going to create a slight problem because it's not that.
says about Dmitry Pirog, and this was clear on me as a guy who bends at the waist, has a lot of movement, and he has watched it in his style. Look at that. We've seen it a couple of times.
But Danny's stuff right now, he's not having the success he does.
Now Jacobs goes back to his conventional stance. This is the way they'll match up against each other most of the night. Good right hand by Pirog. Jacobs kind of leaned into it for him.
Jacob still has not found a way really to affect him.
In the second round, Pirog lands a sharp 1-2, and Jacobs stumbles, not a knockdown, but enough to show something's shifting, and Pirog keeps his rhythm, applies quiet pressure without chasing, and you can feel Jacobs start to notice it too.
Very good trainer in this corner, and Victor Roundtree. Very, very good. I was going to say, but
Right hand by Pirog. Jacobs almost went down.
I was going to say, but he's going to have his hands full tonight trying to figure out a victory strategy for Jacobs tonight.
That's a good body shot with the left hand by Pirog. Right now, Pirog's the aggressor earlier in the fight, and he landed a big right hand here in the second round that has Daniel Jacobs on the defensive. You were about to say that Jacobs...
Part of strategy, because I know they were not expecting this type of a fight from Pirog. Pirog is a very, very good fighter.
Is he relaxed enough on this stage?
Very
It's like he
relaxed.
lives in Vegas.
I was, yeah, especially when it is his first time fighting here, but he said he's made quite a few trips here attending fights.
Says he's only been here a week. Says he didn't take that all that easily to American food. Didn't go to the Russian restaurant here in the hotel because that wasn't really Russian food to him. He's beating Jacobs up in this round.
When I was, I'm a very big Anthony man. Andy says this guy may not look that much, but he's a very difficult guy.
It's a loss that derailed his career. It's tough.
And by the way, things look very good for him for the first quarter of the nation.
And Daniel doesn't seem really prepared for it.
No, it's not. I think they figured a much easier fight. As I said, he moves his head in and out, changes, gives you angles, changes him. punches from those pivots. He's pivoting and turning and punching at the same time.
After looking at him on videotape, I said to a couple of writers that he reminded me of a younger, slightly bigger.
Not as fast in the front row, but he's twists and pivots, changes his angles. But he's a pressure fighter, which is amazing.
Moves his head very well inside.
Rounds 3 and 4 go back and forth. Jacobs has his moments, but Pirog stays loose, calm, even smiling, dodging punches with his hands down, not showboating, just reading, setting the board, waiting for that one move. Crowd is no longer watching passively. They're leaning forward, trying to figure out who this Russian really is and what exactly he came here to do.
Would have been criticized if he had given the 8 count.
I think the more important problem is Danny Jacobs trying to figure out the movements and the pressure that's being applied to him from all angles.
Well, he agreed place, but Pirog has him against the ropes again, that there are mysteries in there for him which need to be solved.
I saw that look after the first 30 seconds.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and so he was having problems hitting him, not like they had rehearsed him and telling the fighter, so it boxing different. Do a lot of feinting before he punches.
Olympics and earned the kind of profile that several Russian fighters have gotten from their Olympic
In the
action.
tapes of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Sugar Ray
Look at the
Leonard.
head movement there.
Definitely not Europeans over there neither.
They're fighting somebody
But
from
Danny's making Danny fight and move a lot faster than I think Danny wants to.
right hand by Jacobs.
Yeah, man. I think he'd be able to wait right away, move away. But he's going to have to be in great shape tonight because he's going to have pressure on him all night long.
Harold Letterman with both the left and the right hands. Good body shot. CompuBox numbers in the third, 6 of 48 for Pirog. It's a better chance to land a power left hand out of this stance than out of his conventional stance, Emmanuel.
But I haven't saw him land too much, except the first time he did it, he was able to land a looping left hand.
Pirog's got a little bit of showboating.
Definitely not your regular.
Talking to Jacobs in there. Jacobs hammering to the body. I don't suppose Pirog is speaking Russian to Jacobs.
You know, it wouldn't surprise me. A lot of these guys, they speak a lot better English than they let you on to think. Because most of them had it standard in their school over there.
They take it in first grade.
Yeah, but they try to let you think that they don't speak, but they understand a lot of things when we're speaking to them.
Well, that was always the old Soviet persona. I mean, during the days of Soviet Union control of sport in those countries, people who spoke perfect English were absolutely deaf and dumb when American reporters were around.
Yeah. And as soon as you leave, then they start speaking.
Emmanuel, I might beg him to focus on the body for a while.
Yes. And then Jacobs' position of Jacobs going down the stretch.
Because?
Pressure, too. Not a straight line pressure.
Well, Jacobs' biggest win was in August last year, almost a year ago against Ishe Smith. Ishe Smith much older.
Round 5, Jacob drops his left hand for just 1 second, and Pirog reads it instantly. He steps in and throws a thunderbolt of a right hand. Clean, straight, perfect.
Not even a big issue of it, which I think is good.
Yeah, I didn't see anything really land low.
It was low. It wasn't low, but I don't think it was intentional, and I don't think it was.
Oh, down goes Jacobs on a perfect right hand,
Right on top.
and that may be that. No way. Robert Byrd won't even finish the count. He waves his arm.
For a second, the crowd goes silent. Then comes the roar, because the Golden Boy is on the canvas, and the man nobody planned for is standing over him. One of the commentators breaks the pause and says it out loud, "A new star is born." And just like that, everything changes. Because Pirog didn't just win, he took the belt, he stole the moment, and for that brief stretch of time, he became the story.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at Mandalay Bay, a new middleweight star is born. The winner at 57 seconds, round number 5, still undefeated, and now the new WBO middleweight champion of the world, from Russia with love, Dmitry Pirog.
That night was the peak of his career, and strangely, it also marked the end, because he was already in talks to fight Gennady Golovkin. But then his back gave out, surgery followed, recovery didn't come, and the next chapter never got written. He retired undefeated with 20 wins to his name, 15 of them by knockout, a champion who never tasted defeat. He didn't chase the spotlight, didn't care for the glamour, didn't need it because he had already done what most never do. Walk into someone else's world, face their champion, and beat him not with flash, not with brute force, but with something colder, smarter. He didn't come to play their game, he came to win.
It was low, but I don't think it was intentional, and I don't think it was...
Oh, down goes Jacob!